2-0 ball game for the Warriors here at the bottom of the third inning and looking to add some more runs. They had the bases loaded in the last frame, but just couldn't come away with some extra runs after Romo got stuck in a pickle. After a single by Justice Reese, at least scored one there as Madison Mendez flies out on the first pitch as the leadoff and flies out to the second baseman, Clark. So each of the last frames have at least had a leadoff hit by the Warriors. But this time, nothing here to start things off in the bottom third. One out, strike one, watched by Jasmine Lara. Very close to the knees on the outside corner. This one is floated, and this one misses 1-1 count. So the Warriors, like we talked about, need to win at least a huge chunk of these games. They're just sitting in front of Carolina right now, who have yet to play a CAC conference game this season. The rest of the other candidates, Heston 5-27, Haskell 3-21, Fisher 0-12, and Morris and Washington Adventist have no record shown for whatever reason. Floater hangs up, deep left center field. DeCasa will get there before it could get to the wall, so that's just a one-out single here for Jasmine Lara.
Now batting number 18, Alyssa Lopez.
A fifth hit for the Warriors. They're starting to have some better success against the Eagles right now. Not a lot of success against their best, Claire Streeter, who is taking a rest for this game. First pitch outside off the plate to Alyssa Lopez. Rolled out to the shortstop in the first AB of this game. Wind has died down. It was kind of blowing from the eastern to west side of the stadium here in regards from basically the Westcliff dugout on the third base side toward that right field mossy wall out there, if you can see it on your screen. Lopez fouled off the last pitch to right field and out of play. 1-1 count here. Jammed up over the head of Clark into right shallow field. Back-to-back hits for the Warriors with one out here in the bottom of the third. And out comes Sarah Oppenheim. To have a chat. And so Embry-Riddle in very good position to make the playoffs in the Great Southwest Conference. 22-11 now. If they get a win here today, they'd be 23-11 on the year. They're sitting 8-4 in conference play though right now, but ahead of Hope International, who are sitting at 5-7, Park Gilbert at 5-7, 4-5 in the standings right now. I'm trying to keep pace with two teams like Arizona Christian and Ottawa University of Arizona. So after the timeout, Oppenheim goes to the dugout. It looks like Brandon Wallace might bring in a courtesy runner potentially here. And he will. For Alyssa Lopez at first base, it's Annika Romo running at first base now.
Pinch running over at first is going to be number 31, Annika Romo.
So Romo will stand at first base now. Laura at second base with one out here in the bottom third. Here comes Emma Alvalar. Leadoff single back in the second. Was able to get across home plate on that RBI single by Reese. She flares one deep to left, but way over the net in left field and out of play. 0-1 count here as the Warriors are trying to continue the streak of runs here through the first few frames. At least a run in each of the last few offensively. She takes this one to left field in play, pops it up to Romo. Anise Romo in left field to get the second out.
Now batting number 23, Sarah Ellerton.
Sarah Ellerton will now step in with 2 outs. Runners at first and second. Ellerton hitting .260 on the season, 19 hits. And like we talked about, the big swinger for the Warriors here with 3 home runs. This pitch right at the knees, just a little bit low, 1-0. 2 outs in the bottom of the third. The Warriors up 2-0 currently. Here's the next delivery. This one is chopped over down the third baseline, out of play. One, just off the plate outside. 2-1 for Sarah Ellerton, first and second runners. Romo at first, Lara at second, 1 out or 2 outs here in the bottom half of the third inning. 2-1 on the way, misses outside low. Presley Daniel through 2 innings thus far, 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned, and 1 walk handed out. This one also off the plate, a little bit up, but the bases will be juiced up just like the last frame.
Now batting number 11, Sydney Rushner.
It's just the second walk cashed out by the Warriors here. Sydney Rushner will come up, sacrifice bunt in the last frame, but looking to cash in at least 1 here with 2 outs, bases loaded, bottom third. Just a little bit under the swing on the breaking pitch, 0-1. Just gonna try to get a little bit of some grip with her gloves in the dirt, rubbing those hands together with the infield dirt. 0-1, inside, missed. Right behind her, Casey Johnston awaiting. 1-1 delivery by Daniels. Delivers outside, just off the plate. Bases loaded. A 2-1 count here for Rushner with 2 outs. Gets a piece of this one, but fouls it back down to the on-deck circle. She's got a 2-2 count here in the bottom half of the third inning, with the Warriors up 2-0 right now. Here's the 2-2. Just missed inside below the knees. Full count. This one up, but not too far. Throw to first by Clark, and that will settle yet another bases-loaded jam. This time, nothing for the Warriors as Daniel keeps it a 2-0 ball game through 3 innings. Off to the top 4th we go here in the series finale between the Warriors and Embry-Riddle. So Alyssa Lopez will remain in the
Leading
game
off for
at
the Eagles
first
gonna be number
base
2, Ryan DaCosta.
after a pinch run by Annika Romo. Took over for her after her single behind Jasmine Lara, but the Warriors come up empty on yet another bases-loaded situation in the bottom half of the third inning. Here in the top fourth, just a hit here for the Eagles thus far in the series finale. Down by 2 runs, and the 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up for the Eagles here. Here's the first pitch. This one's in the dirt. For Ryan DaCosta, best hitter on this team, already above 50 hits now on the season. For a freshman talent that has a lot of years looking forward. 425 on the season coming in. And the most triples on the team too with 4. That last pitch missed. 2-0 count for DaCosta. Goes after this one. Bit of a low swing. And a one-hopper to Avalar. Throw to first to get the first down.
Now batting, number 11.
A lot of ground balls
Clark.
so far by Madison Mendez. 8 ground balls forced to be exact through 3 1/3. Here's Leah Salas, grounded out to the shortstop Reese. 1 out here in the top of the 4th. That one's in the strike zone. Watched 0-1. Warriors leading right now through 3 innings, 2-0. One's on the way. This one off the plate. 1-1 count for Leah Salas. Despite losing the last 3 games here to Embry-Riddle, the Warriors are trying to at least finish things off strong on a high note here in this 4-game series. Next weekend, Arizona Christian coming up. Leah Salas shows bunt, pulls up, pitch under the zone, 2-1. Salas settles in. Mendez lines it up. 2-1 count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Comes up empty. 2-2. Mendez settles. 2-2 count. And delivers. This one watched. Leah Salas, or Clark, excuse me, was looking for the slap hit there and did not make the decision to pull the trigger and goes down just looking. Here's Meyer. Flew out to center field. That one's in the zone. Look, a little bit bang there on the call. 0-1 count with 2 outs. Backwards K for Madison Mendez on Kaylee Clark. 2 outs here in the top 4. Floated. Watts all the way like a trip to the museum. 0-2. Mendez looking for another 1-2-3 inning here. She gets the signal. Fires. This one just below the zone, off the plate. 1-2. Two to 0 for the Warriors here. 1-2 on the way. Floats. Missed outside. Looking to draw the swing by Keely Meyer, but she doesn't pull the trigger. 2-2 count, 2 outs. right up the gut, but right to Casey Johnson in center field. Back-to-back flyouts to center field for Keely Meyer. Keeps the Eagles off the board through 4 innings. 2-0 for the Warriors as we go to the bottom half of the 4th inning here on the Warriors Sports Network. Warriors leading by 2. Nine 1-2 coming up for the Warriors in the bottom half of the 4th inning. They're leading by 2-0. 1 run driven in by Justice Reese and a run driven in by Madison Mendez. There's been a difference in the series finale between the Warriors and the Embry-Riddle Eagles. Casey Johnson, who got on board with a fielder's choice bunt, swings through one, 0-1 count against Presley Daniel in another inning of work. 1-1 count to start things off after the pitch gets away from Talayatsi. Lets one fly and watches it all the way into the strike zone. 1-2 count here for Johnston. Just hitting .222 on the season. This one inside off the plate, 2-2 count. Johnston, senior this season, didn't have a whole lot of playing time last year and gets this one through for a leadoff single just under the glove of a diving Quinn at the shortstop position.
Now to bat number 9, Alyssa Patlin.
The 7th hit here for the Warriors. They've at least gotten 1 hit in each of the last half innings. And number 7 gets on board. 3 of those frames have started with a leadoff hit, and Alyssa Patlin was one of them with that leadoff triple. She shows bunt, pulls up, and that pitch misses just below the strike zone to start things off a 1-0 count. Patlin leading the team and the conference with a .425 batting average, which got her the first team all-conference last year. Shows bunt, but this ball rolls away into foul territory. 1-1 count. Originally from Santiago Canyon Community College. This year she's hitting .333 with 33 hits and 99 ABs. So this one lined down through first and second to the right fielder. They're calling time on the umpire. And they're saying interference, I believe, from Casey Johnston, who apparently got in the way of that ball. And here comes Brandon Wallace to come argue the call. So what I'm reading from the lips here, I'm not the best at reading lips, but it seems like on the hit there by Alyssa Patlin, they're saying that Johnson got in the way of the first baseman Bayless from moving into proper position. And that's what the base umpire called Johnston for interference, being in front of Bayless.
Now batting number 3.
Why the call was
Justice
made, and
Reese.
they're confirming the call here, so Johnston will be out. So instead of runners at the corners, it's a 1-out situation with Alyssa Patlin at first base. And here's Justice Reese. Inside, ball 1. So the Eagles kind of catch a break there on that single by Alyssa Patlin. Now 2 for 3 here in this game. That one's floated. Patlin dives back in with a backhand pickoff attempt. This one below the knees. 2-0 count. So Coach Wallace wanted to, well, at least elect to give his teammate a chance. It's a 4-pitch walk here for Justice Reese.
Up to bat number
Now
1.
runners at first
Madison
and
Mendez.
second. So it seems like what he was arguing was that the first baseman was off position there at first base, and because of that, doesn't need to elect for interference call on Casey Johnson, but benefit of the doubt goes to the umpires here. So 1-out situation, runners first and second. Mendez steps in, almost kills her own teammate in the on-deck circle. Lays it foul. So instead of bases loaded situation, once again for the Warriors, a couple of times they've loaded the bases in the last 2 halves of their side of the board. Mendez puts this one in play. They throw the third, trying to get the double play. The throw is way high, but nobody advances. And so they get the lead runner, 2 outs. Mendez gets on board with the fielder's choice.
Now batting number 16, Jasmine Lara.
First pitch swinging, rolled on the floor, glove, step on the third by Myers. And another runner in scoring position threat is settled for the Warriors. They come up empty once again here in the bottom half of the 4th. 3 more innings to go here on the Warriors Sports Network. The Warriors are up 2-0 in the series finale between the Warriors and Embry-Riddle. And through 4 innings, the Warriors 2-0 here on the Warriors Sports Network. Eagles chasing 2 right now in the series finale, trying to get the sweep here on Westcliff University in their California trip. 1-0 count against the 5, 6, 7 hitters here for the Eagles. Mendez lays one in right down Main Street, 1-1 count. So a handful of times the Warriors have at least gotten runners and at least a big chunk of them at scoring position, but have come up empty 8 times with runners on the bags through 4 innings. And you could argue that the bases could have been loaded the last inning with Casey Johnston, who was at first base after a leadoff single. The umpire ruled her in front of the first baseman trying to make a play on a hit that was between her, Bayless at first base and Clark at second base, but Bayless didn't really make a move. So you can either take what you will with that and think of what you want to think with that. But nonetheless, Johnston was called out. They at least got runners at first and second, but still come up empty once again. This one is fouled off. 2-2 count here for Joy Sanchez in her second AB of this game. The Warriors loaded the bases in the second and the third inning, only cashing in a single run with those situations. And Presley Daniel continues to hold strong, even with bases loaded. Off the end of the bat, Madison Mendez takes a few steps to her right and makes the catch in the infield for the first out.
Up to bat, number 16, Jade Bayless.
All right, Jade. Let's go, Jade. Can do right here, 1-6.
Here's the first pitch to Jade Bayless. Just inside off the plate. Just a double in this doubleheader today. Struck out swinging in there in this one. 2 strikeouts dished out by Madison Mendez so far in her outing here on this Saturday, April 4th, here on Easter weekend. 1-1 count here for Bayless, looking for her 10th home run of the season. Bayless slugging a .725 on the year. Very patient hitter too, 16 walks so far this season. 1-1 on the way, floated just below the knees for a 2-1 count. Mendez with a smile on her face. Thought that one was a strike there. 3 more innings to go here. Warriors looking to dish out at least a win in this 4-game series. This one misses inside as well. 3-1 count for Bayless. One out here in the top of the 5th. 2-2. Bayless rolls it over, gloved by Lara. Has to make a throw, turning her shoulders backwards and makes the play.
Now up to bat, number 8, Anise Romo.
2 retired here in the top of the 5th. Romo looking for, or Mendez looking for another 1-2-3 inning here in the top of the 5th. Here comes Anise Romo coming up to bat. Grounded out in her first AB of this game. This one's rolled over right to Lara, throws to first. Another 1-2-3 inning here for the Warriors. Defensively through 5.
Up for the Warriors.
Still up 2-0 as we go to the bottom half
Overton.
of the 5th here on the Warriors Sports Network.
Leading it off for the Warriors, number 18, Alyssa Lopez.
4.5 we've gone through. 2-0 ball game for the Warriors here in the series finale. First pitch swinging, popped up in the air here for Alyssa Lopez. And Quinn reaches out with her left hand and makes the grab out in shallow left field for the first out.
Up to bat, number 22, Emma Avalar.
A very quick out here for Presley Daniel and another inning of work. One out in the bottom half of the fifth. Avalar coming up, and then Sarah Ellerton on deck. That's in there for a strike. Good day today so far for Warriors Athletics, and minus the softball matchups here this afternoon. The Warriors baseball team, last I checked, was up 5-1 earlier. The Warriors men's volleyball team, number 7th in the nation, are waiting to get their chance in the CalPAC Conference Tournament coming up in a few weeks here. You got the seating jamboree happening in that same week to determine where everyone will stand. 1-2 count here for Avalar. Swing and a miss, down goes Avalar.
Up to bat,
that's the first strikeout of the day, dished out by Presley Daniel. 2 outs here in the bottom half of the fifth. First pitch outside off the plate for Sarah Ellerton, has reached twice today, both on walks. Gets jammed up, pops it up near the on-deck circle, but out of play, out of reach from Talilyatsi. The Warriors playing in a very crucial doubleheader against Simpson University right now. One where they need to basically win out that whole series, right? I mean, they already got the win in the 4-game series against Simpson, but this is a very important series this weekend here if they want to get into the CAC playoffs. Popped up in the air. Jamieson stands under it and makes the catch. 1-2-3 inning for Amber Riddle. For the first time, the Warriors do not get on base in this game. Off to the 6th we go.
Talilyatsi, Quinn, Jamieson. Leading off for the Eagles, number 3, Tori Talilyatsi.
And 2 more chances here for the Eagles to dish out a series sweep on the Warriors. But it's a pretty tough task here as Madison Mendez, who lost the first game, giving up a plethora of runs to the Eagles, kind of getting a little bit of redemption here in the series finale thus far. Scoreless frames on the board here with only 1 hit so far given up by the Eagles and 2 strikeouts. Mendez is going to ask the home plate umpire to clear off the plate once again. She's done that plenty of times to at least give a clear view of the strike zone. As both sides and the home plate umpire even joke with each other a little bit. Love to see that kind of play here at Fullerton College. 1-0 count for Talilyatsi, and then Danica Quinn and Katie Jamieson at the top of the order. That's in there for a strike, 1-1. You gotta be careful because Danica Quinn, hot bat so far. 3-run home run in the previous game of this doubleheader. This one starts middle but ends up outside. 2-1. Here in the top of the 6th inning, Warriors leading just by 2 runs. One of those runs by Madison Mendez herself after getting a single in her first AB of the game to score Alyssa Patlin, who led off that inning with a triple. Lets one fly, just misses below the knees. It's a 3-1 count here for Tiliazzi. The only other run scored was Justice Reese's RBI single with the bases loaded, but Romo got stuck in between a pickle and was thrown out, or Sarah Ellerton, excuse me. 5-pitch walk here to lead things off for Tiliazzi, and she'll get on base, and the tying run will come up to the plate. That is the first walk dished out in this game by the Eagles. But Romo's got to be careful of leaving anything hanging here for Danica Quinn, who already has 7 home runs now on the season. Here's the first delivery. She goes after one, dishes it out, shallow left. Patlin will not make a play. And the tying run gets on board thanks to Danica Quinn. She's at first base. 60 feet, Tiliazzi over to second.
Jamison.
That's the second hit here, and the first couple of chances for the Eagles for the first time in this game have touched second base. So the go-ahead run comes up to bat here in Katie Jamison. Runners at first and second, no outs. Little floater rolled over, first step on third, over to first, a double play. 5-3 double play takes out Tiliazzi and Katie Jamison, and that break caught here by Madison Mendez right now, but a runner in scoring position, and Danica Quinn at second base with 2 outs, and here comes Katie Jamison, or Ryan DaCosta. Looking for the slap hit, but doesn't pull the trigger. Watched for an 0-1 count. A little bit of defensive help here for the Warriors in this 6th inning. This one rolled through, out of the diving glove of Reese. Goes to left field, Patlin playing short, throws to third base, but Quinn is already there, and runners at the corners now with 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning.
Kaylee Clark.
Come on, Kaylee. Come on, babe. I believe once.
So the tying run at first base. The go-ahead here in Kaylee Clark. Strikeout looking last time. 2 outs, top 6, behind by 2. Was looking for bunt, pulls up, running to second. The throw is cut off by Avalar, and Ryan DaCosta basically just trots to second base without a play being made, as they were basically trying to play it safe with Danica Quinn there at third base, but now the runners and the tying run is in scoring position now. Defensive indifference. This ball upstairs, 1-1 count. And here comes Brandon Wallace out of the dugout. Bit of a surprise look here from the Warriors with a 1-1 count. Runners second and third, 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. The Eagles chasing by 2 here in the series finale, looking for a sweep on the Warriors here on their trip in California. Embry-Riddle now winners of their last 5. They'll head back to Arizona, but they're going to play against Ottawa University of Arizona on the weekend of April 10th and 11th. For the rest of the season after that, they take on Nelson University, Park University, and then Arizona Christian to finish off their season in GSAC play. Those two series, the ones against Ottawa University, Arizona, and Arizona Christian, very crucial on their side of things if they want to get at least within the top 2 or 3 seeds of the GSAC playoffs. 1-1 count, 2 outs, runners second and third here in the top of the 6th. Quick bunt shown there by Kaylee Clark, pulls up immediately. Warriors have a bit of a interesting shift happening here. Reese moving over to third base to help from behind with Lard coming in. And Lopez at the first base side is right in front of that first base bag. Fouled off to the backstop. 2-2 count coming up. The dugout's getting a little bit louder now in a situation where the Eagles can tie things here. Mendez waiting for the signal. 2-2 count, 2 outs, 2 runners in scoring position. This one's upstairs near the face mask of Kaylee Clark. It's a full count pitch. This is a big AB here now in this situation. 2 strikeouts already for Madison Mendez through 5 innings pitched. And with Danica Quinn and DaCosta at scoring position, need a good pitch here. Delivers to right field, coming in out of the reach of Rutschner. It will go to the wall, and this game is going to be tied. Clark goes to third. It's a bases clearing triple to bring it 2-2. So a big inning here for the Eagles opens things up. Coach Wallace is going to the base umpire to talk about something. Not exactly sure what this is about.
Thought the runner left early or something? That was a hit? There's no leaving early. Who? I don't know what
So not exactly sure what the conversation here is, whether they want to say the ball went under the fence or whatnot, because they're both looking at the wall right now for some reason. And they're sending her back to second base. They're sending Kaylee Clark back to second base. So I think they're ruling a ground rule double, but either way, it's still a tie game. So she backs up 60 feet. They're saying the ball potentially went under that fence there in right center field. So instead of a triple, it's a bases clearing double regardless, a ground rule double. But this game has been turned upside down with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. And now the Warriors and the Eagles are tied at 2 apiece. Here comes Keely Meyer. First pitch just off the plate, 1-0. Couple of flyouts here in this second game. For the Eagles, a massive number of extra base hits today. 6 extra base hits dished out by this team in this 2-game series on this April 4th on a Saturday. That last pitch fouled out of the ballpark. 1-1 count with 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. The Eagles have tied the game up. On the way, upstairs. 2-1.
You're way ahead, kid. You're way ahead. Come to you.
2 outs, 2-1 count. Go ahead runs at second base. Mendez takes a pause, now delivers. Just inside and misses off the plate. It's a 3-1 count. And certainly got to be careful with Joy Sanchez coming up. And Jade Bayless in the hole here. Just took 3 hits for the Eagles to tie this ball game up. Thanks to 2 RBI double by Kaylee Clark. Into right field that went under the wall and forced a ground rule double. Last pitch was fouled off. Full count on the way. Big payoff pitch here. Warriors needing a win after losing the last 3. Here's the delivery. This one's fouled off close by the Warriors dugout. A much needed win here, and something that the Warriors have needed for some time. They just have been on the other side of not a lot of really good offensive numbers through the last 10 games or so. This one's in there and off the plate. Full count walk for Meyer. Runners at first and second now.
All right, chili potato, let's go.
Go, Jill.
Pinch hitter here for Joey Sanchez is coming in.
Free, Joe, you got it, babe.
And Jill Bonk, a freshman, she was a pinch hitter for Annalee Casanon in the first game of the doubleheader here today and rolled into a ground out.
Pinch hitting number
So in a
5,
situation
Jill
here
Bonk.
to try to put the Eagles out in front after 5 scoreless frames for Madison Mendez. But now the Eagles with a big inning here. 2 runs already. A go-ahead run at second base. Mendez delivers. First pitch right above the knees for a strike. The Warriors were on a 7-game losing streak, coming back from the TIG tournament not that long ago, and then played against Park, Gilbert, and Nelson University. Only dished out a single win in 4 games against the 2 Arizona teams in the NAIA. Before coming here to the Great Park, and then today here at Fullerton College against the Warriors, they've won 3 out of the 4 and looking for 4 out of 4 to beat out the Warriors. Deep to right field and caught over the head by Rutschner. That eliminates the threat, but the Eagles get on the board here in the 6th in a big way, and they've tied the ball game up thanks to a bases clearing double by Kaylee Clark. 2-2 is your score to the bottom half of the 6th. We go here on the Warriors Sports Network.
This is not to get confused. This one's for you. Baby, you my everything. You all I ever wanted. We could do it real big. Bigger than you ever done it. You be up on everything. Held the whole thing, never own it. I want this forever. I swear I could spend whatever on it. Cause she hold me down every time I hit her. When I get right, I promise that we gon' live it up. She made me beg for it till she give it up. And I say the same thing every single time. I say you the best. You the best. You the best. You the best. You the best I ever had. Best I ever had. Best I ever had. Best I ever had. I say you the you. Know you got a roommate. Call me when there's no one there. Put the key under the mat and you know I'll be over there. I'll be over there. Shawty, I'll be
Coming into the bottom of the 6th inning after the Eagles tied up the game thanks to a bases clearing double by Kaylee Clark. Once again, Presley Daniel, who started this game, looking to try to finish the game, now in a situation where she could potentially win if the Eagles can get the go-ahead run coming up in the top 7. But the Warriors, here in the bottom of the 6th, are looking for a big hit here.
Warriors, number 28, Jessica Guillen.
So Jessica Guillen, who will switch out for Sydney Rutschner, will step in as the pinch hitter here to lead us off. So Coach Wallace going to the bench, trying to get something started here
Keep working, Pat.
in the bottom of the 6th. Last frame for the Warriors, a 1-2-3 inning with Alyssa Lopez, Emma Avalar, and Sarah Ellerton. 2 flyouts and a strikeout. Guillen watches the first pitch for a ball. Again, she was in the 6th spot of the lineup in the last game. Ground out on a bunt and a fly out to left and a strikeout. So not a lot of success. Drills this one deep right, but hangs up in the air for Jamison to make the catch.
Now batting number 7, Casey Johnston.
Guillen is retired. Casey Johnston steps in with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Tie ball game 2-2. First pitch floater hangs upstairs for a ball. Flipped lineup after Casey Johnston with Alyssa Patlin on deck and then Justice Reese in the hole. Another floater. That one also misses, but it looks like it was off the plate on the outside. 2-0. A tie ball game. The Warriors scored a run in the first and the second, and the Eagles scoring 2 in the last frame. This one also off the plate as well. 3-0 count. Johnston looking to get on board with another single. Was called out for interference earlier. And shows bunt, pulls up, 4-pitch walk for Johnston. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th, and the Warriors will have the go-ahead run on board. And it looks like Coach Sarah Oppenheim is going to go to the dugout. And Presley, a nice day here in the circle in the series finale. After dishing out 84 pitches today, she will be replaced. So coming up, new pitcher for the Eagles here in the bottom of the 6th with a runner at first, 1 out.
Now pitching for Embry-Riddle, number 19, Claire Streeter. And behind the plate is going to be catcher number 12, Ariana Garcia. Now up to bat for the Warriors, number 9, Alyssa Patlin.
Well, Alyssa Patlin here in the top of the order for the Warriors in the bottom 6. The go-ahead run is over there at first base, 180 feet away from putting the Warriors back out in front. And the new pitcher, Claire Streeter, who started off today of this doubleheader, completed the game, got the win against the Warriors in a 7-2 victory. Delivers the first pitch for a strike on Patlin, who's looking for a slab hit here with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. They also switch out the battery, so Tiliazzi will take a break, and they bring out Ariana Garcia back behind the dish. Patlin looking for that bunt, pulls up. Ball up, 1-1. So Streeter, who has been in all 4 games of this series, started game 1, started game 3, relieved in game 2, and now back in relief here in this final game. 2/3 in the second game and got the win there. Patlin swing and a miss, a bit of a lazy swing there, and she's behind with an 0-2 or 1-2 count. 1 out, bottom 6, tie ball game 2-2. One, two. Just one upstairs. Backdoor pickoff attempt at first base with a diving Johnston getting back in. A 2-2 count here with Justice Reese waiting on deck and Madison Mendez in the hole. Here's a 2-2 way upstairs over the head of Garcia. And this gives a free 60 feet for Casey Johnston to get into scoring position. So it looks like she lost a bit of that grip there as she puts her hand in the dirt to try to take off some of that sweat and the moisture from the hands. Who knows if that's what happened there on that pitch, but nonetheless, a full count with 1 out for Alyssa Patlin. Here's the pitch. Check swing. Did she go? Yes, she did. Strikeout.
Now batting number 3, Justice Reese.
Claire Streeter comes in relief of Presley Daniel and gets a strikeout here in a big situation. First pitch fouled off by Justice Reese. Got the scoring started for the Warriors back in the second inning with that RBI single, or excuse me, got the second run for the Warriors back in that second inning. Behind with an 0-1 count, 120 feet away. Casey Johnston at second base. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, good catch by Garcia. The pitch was a little high up, but Garcia caught it just over her face guard. Jammed up, but fouled off. 1-2 count. 1-2 count on the way. Flared out to right field, but foul out of the reach of the right fielder, Jamison. So Claire Streeter, 7 innings pitched, complete game, just 4 hits, 2 runs allowed, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts in the first game of today, and now in a situation where she could win the game for her team. Caught in the middle, and the ball gets away on the throw. Here comes the runner, and scoring is Casey Johnston for the lead. A rare miscue from the Eagles defense. Now the Warriors are out in front. Strange topsy-turvy play there behind the plate. Rare mistake for the Eagles defense. That one's in there for strike 3. So could not hold the runner at second base. An error by the catcher. And the Warriors lead 3-2. To the top 7th we go. And now in the situation to try to get a save here for Madison Mendez.
Bayless, Romo, Garcia.
If you want me, you can find me in the air. I'm on it, 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 I'm on it. Time and time again, I gotta turn back round and tell these crows that I am the ace and I see true. That's just the way it goes. I be on that shit that I had you on that. I don't want no more. At this time, I need all my freak shows to get down on the floor. If you came to rep your set, right that partner, let them know. If it's jail, I keep the stomping the head of the sleep there.
So the Warriors lead 3-2 coming into the top half of the 7th inning, and the Eagles behind by 1 after a rare mistake by the defense. The ball got away from Garcia coming in for Tiliazzi with Claire Streeter in the circle in relief of Presley Daniel. Went to go get the ball, saw Casey Johnson stuck in the middle between second and third, through to second base. The ball got away from Clark and into the outfield. That allowed Johnston to score and give the Warriors a lead. This first pitch is fouled off way out of the park. If it was fair, it would have been a home run to the leadoff of Jade Bayless. 0-1 count here, and Madison Mendez now in a situation to get the win. 0-1. That one clips the inside corner of the strike zone. Bayless behind in an 0-2 count.
Let's go, Jay. Come on, baby.
Warriors looking for a win here in the series finale. 4 games in total against Embry-Riddle in 2 double headers. 1 yesterday, 1 today. 0-2 on the way. This one's in the dirt. 1-2. Firth will reset behind the dish. 4 hits so far for the Eagles, who tied up the game in the last half. Floater, right into the glove of Avalar. She makes a play at second base. That's the first out.
Up to bat, number 8, Anise Romo.
Got this, Eve.
2 outs away from eliminating the sweep applied by the Embry-Riddle Eagles of Arizona. 1 out, here comes Anise Romo. Couple of ground outs today. Shows bunt, pulls up, ball in the floor. Corners coming in, looking for that bunt threat. Mazza Mendes, who's made plenty of plays from the circle this season, will probably come in as well. Delivers inside, but just misses. It's a 2-0 count. So Anise Romo with the tying run at the batter's box with what should be Garcia coming in after replacing defensively for Tori Togliazzi on deck. The same spot, but this time Anise Romo takes a hack and comes up empty. 2-1 count.
Can do right here, Romo.
Garcia had 2 doubles in the first game of this doubleheader. This one popped up in the air, left field. Patlin makes the grab for the second out.
Now batting, number 12, Ariana Garcia.
And the Eagles will be down to their final out now. And maybe a chance for redemption here for Garcia. Between either her or Clark, you can decide who to put the blame on for that run allowed in the last frame, but with a chance here to tie it up. The first pitch misses inside, ball 1. So Garcia had red hot bat so far, almost had 3 doubles in the last game, but was robbed of a diving grab out in center field by Casey Johnston. But nonetheless, an RBI today and 2 doubles in the first game. Danica Quinn, serving as the go-ahead run, is on deck. But Garcia needs to get on base for that to happen. 1-1 count, 2 outs. 3-2 ball game for the Warriors here in the top of the 7th. Mendes on line for the win if she can pull this one out. Here's the delivery. Lined up, and it'll get into the gap. Stopped by Johnston, and the go-ahead run will come up to the plate.
Now batting, number 18, Danica Quinn.
The 5th hit today comes in a big way for Ariana Garcia. She now is the game-tying run at first base. And Danica Quinn, who knocked in a single, her last AB, reached twice today. And in the first game of this doubleheader, blasted a 3-run home run over the right center wall. Here's the first pitch. Gets jammed up and out of play. One of the many young talented players on this Eagles team, one of 4 freshmen that has played today. And nonetheless, maybe one of the biggest standouts alongside Ryan DaCosta. Knocked in her 7th home run of the season. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Mendez. Delivered, floater, right at the knees, called strike. And now down to their final strike. We'll see what Madison Mendez decides to do here. Could be a pitch on the inside, could be one upstairs. 0-2, 2 outs, 3-2 ball game for the Warriors, down to their final strike. Quinn sets up, Mendez delivers. Outside, double check by Quinn, but doesn't pull the trigger. On an outside pitch delivered. Game tying run at first base, 180 feet away from getting across. We'll do it again. 1-2 count, 2 outs. Here in the top 7th. Mendez delivers. This one rolled out in play. The ball will just barely go in front of the base and just out of play. Boy, that was a teardrop away from getting fair.
Go, Danica, come on.
Lopez looked like she wanted to go get the ball there, pulled up, high IQ play as it seems, and let the ball roll out of play just in front of first base. But, man, that was a scary moment there for the Warriors. So 1-2 count once again after the foul ball. Here's the delivery. Double checks, and it'll go off the first base bag. Double toss, throw to first base from Avalar, who makes the recovery, and the final out of the game. And the Warriors survive to at least eliminate the sweep here from the Eagles, and they at least get the series finale 3-2 here.
Saturday contest.
Thanks for joining us here on this Saturday contest of the doubleheader between Embry-Riddle and Westcliff University. They at least finish off with a strong win here, 3-2, and they'll face off next weekend against Ottawa University, or against Arizona Christian next weekend. For all of us here, thanks for joining us. We'll see you very soon for the next game in Warriors Athletics. 3-2 the final score here in this doubleheader. And as we say to our friends and family back at home, we say good afternoon from Fullerton.